everyone, my name is Abhilasha and I'm a VRC educator on Unacademy and I've got great news for you guys. So Unacademy is hosting a number of events and the first of them is the Unacademy Cat Mega Boot Camp, guys. Now this is going to be an amazing series where we will be doing 12 hours of live marathon. Top educators, toppers and guest speakers will all get together on the 14th, 15th of October and we will have this blast of a session where we will cover all the important concepts in these 2 days, live practice of never seen before questions, a master class on question selection and time management, an AMA Ask Me Anything with previous year CAT toppers and guest speakers, test your preparation for the CAT boot camp with a mini boot camp test, and the top 15 learners of the mini boot camp test will win an Unacademy goodies box. So guys, do join us for this 14th and 15th of October, the Unacademy CAT Mega Boot Camp. Stay tuned for a big announcement also. We are very excited and I hope so are you. I've got one more news. So the All India mock test, the AIMT for CAT 2022, the next one is happening on the 16th of October from 12 noon to 2 p.m. Guys, there will be 66 questions, 120 minutes of tough fight it out, which is one of the biggest mock test series AIMT. Come and join us, win rewards and scholarships worth 25 crores. Top 1000 rankers to get their CAT form fee refunded. Know where you stand among the 50k test takers, 50k plus test takers who are writing this test. The test has been curated by experts with 20 plus years of experience and a CAT 100 percentilers. The latest CAT exam pattern, 4 high quality LRDI sets, 22 very tricky quant questions and perfect VRC section with very close options. Guys, you're gonna have a blast with this test. The analysis session by top CAT gurus where we'll cover question selection and time management. Do enroll right away, guys. Remember the CAT boot camp and AIMT 13th, 14th, 15th and 16th of October. I will be there. I hope you will be there too. Let's see you there. Hi guys, my name is Abhilasha and I'm a VRC educator on Unacademy. Guys, this is my 99 percentile questions. So I will be discussing 3 questions from one reading comprehension today. Now in this reading comprehension, which I have taken from CAT 2021 paper, this has 5 questions associated with it. Of course, I'm only going to be doing 3 questions from the passage as the 99 percentile series has 3 questions along with it. I have been teaching for CAT and CLAT on Unacademy for the past 3.5 years and for a total of 22 years. It's been an exciting journey and I am really hoping to see lots more of you writing CAT and lots more of you getting a 99.99 percentile in CAT. Just like I did. Well, this is my Telegram channel. It's called AbhiCat. You can join with us on Telegram right away. Find my channel AbhiCat. You will be able to find a channel which is called VRC 99.99 per Abhilasha and you can get started there. Chalo, let's get started with our article for the day. Vocabulary used in speech or writing organizes itself in 7 parts of speech, 8 if you count interjections such as oh, gosh and forget about it. Communication composed of these parts of speech must be organized by rules of grammar upon which we agree. When these rules break down, confusion and misunderstanding result. Bad grammar produces bad sentences. My favorite example from Strunk and White is this one. As a mother of 5 with another one on the way, my ironing board is always out. So the writer is talking about grammar, right? He says that when you have words, you take them up and you combine them with rules of grammar, okay? And you create all communication. But bad communication occurs when the rules break down, when you don't really know your rules very well. When you have bad grammar, then you have bad sentences and that's the essence of it. So the writer is essentially saying that bad grammar produces bad sentences. So bad grammar and its effect. And then he gives you this example also, very beautiful. As a mother of 5 with another one on the way, my ironing board is always up. Appears as if the ironing board is the mother of 5 and the 6th one is on the way. Well, clearly it is me or the woman who's speaking who's the mother of 5. So this sentence would be better written if we had taken care of our modifiers. However, whatever. Que sera sera, what is. Okay. Now let's look at the second paragraph. Nouns and verbs are the two indispensable parts of writing. Without one of each, no group of words can be a sentence. Since a sentence is by definition a group of words containing a subject, a noun and a predicate. These strings of words begin with a capital letter, end with a period and combine to make a complete thought which starts in the writer's head and perhaps leaps to the readers. So he's saying that any sentence has to have these two things, a noun and a verb, a subject and a predicate. These start with a capital letter and then they end with a full stop, and there is a complete thought which is started in the writer's head and then goes to the reader's head. Must you write complete sentences each time, every time? Perish the thought. So he's saying, oh, you don't have to write complete sentences. If your work consists only of fragments and floating clauses, the grammar police aren't going to come and take you away. So he's saying that if you don't write complete sentences, if your work is only fragments and clauses, the grammar police is who? Somebody who's very strict about the rules of grammar. And there are people who are, very strict about where to place what and how to place it, and they really want the grammar to be perfect. So they're not going to come and take you away. Even William Strunk, that Mussolini of rhetoric. So William Strunk is that person who's really specific about rhetoric. Recognize the delicious pliability of language. So even Strunk, who's a dictator of sorts, he says that language is very pliable, it is very moldable. You can change it, you can play around with it. It is an old observation, he writes, that the best writers sometimes disregard the rules of rhetoric. So this is an observation that the really good writers will disregard the rules of grammar. Yet, he goes on to add this thought which I urge you to consider. Unless he is certain of doing well, the writer will probably do best to follow the rules. So Strunk says that, yeah, even if you just wrote in bad grammar, it would still be okay. But if you are not very sure of, your credibility, then it makes better sense to follow the rules. Well, Shakespeare could have written anything and gotten away with it. But you and I, my friend, we are common people. If we don't follow the rules of grammar, there's going to be trouble in this thing. Okay? So that's something that is very interesting. The telling clause here is unless he's certain of doing well. Telling clause means the clause that is telling you something important. That if you are sure of doing well, then do away with all grammar. But if you're not sure of doing well, then you need to pay attention. Now, if you don't have a rudimentary grasp of how the parts of speech translate into coherent sentences, how can you be certain that you're doing well? So rudimentary means a basic grasp. So if you don't have a basic grasp or a basic understanding of how the different parts of speech combine together to create a coherent sentence, then you cannot be certain that you're doing well. How will you know if you're doing it? How will you know if you're doing badly or well? The answer is that you can't, you won't, you will not. Unless somebody told you, on your own you does not know. One who does grasp the rudiments of grammar, somebody who does understand the basics of grammar, finds a comforting simplicity at its heart. So if you understand the basics of grammar, you understand that it's very simple. Where there need be only nouns, the naming words, and verbs, the words that act. So at heart, grammar only requires two things. A noun in a sentence and a verb. So a naming word and an action word. So at the heart of it, it's a very simple, beautiful language. Take any noun, put it with any verb, and you have a sentence. So if you have a verb, a noun, combine it, you've got a sentence. It never fails. Rocks explode, Jane transmits, mountains float. You can have short sentences. These are all perfect sentences. There is a subject, there is a verb. There is a noun, there is a verb. Many such thoughts make little rational sense, but even stranger ones, plums deify, have a kind of poetic weight that's nice. So sometimes you will have all of these different types of sentences, small ones also, that may have some logic, may not have some logic, but they have beauty to it, right? The simplicity of noun verb construction is useful. So how this noun verb sentence happens, it is very simple and it's very useful. At the very least, so in just the beginning, it can provide a safety net for your writing. So it is something that will help you in your writing. You've got a noun, you've got a verb, at least your sentence is going to be correct. Strunk and White caution against too many simple sentences in a row. But simple sentences provide a path you can follow when you fear getting lost in the tangles of rhetoric. So Strunk and White say that if you put too many simple sentences in a row, it's not going to be a very well written text. But when you have simple sentences, it is easier for you to write because you don't then get tangled in, where's the modifier, where's the restrictive clause, where is the non-restrictive clause. All those restrictive and non-restrictive clauses, those modifying phases, those appositives, and the compound complex sentences. So if you write simple sentences, then you don't get complicated structures and you don't get confused in the complicated structures. If you start to freak out at the sight of such unmapped territory, so if you get scared when you get these large sentences, unmapped by you at least, just remind yourself that rocks explode, Jane transmits, mountain floats, and plums defy. So what he's saying is that if you get scared by long sentences, write small sentences. Grammar is the pole you grab to get your thoughts up on their feet and walking. So grammar is that thing, that support that helps you, put your thoughts out somewhere. So don't worry, don't get scared with grammar. All you need to do is have a verb and have a noun. And that's what he is saying. Very beautiful sentence. The writing of this, I will say, is medium difficult. I don't think it's an easy to read article. Okay, it is a medium to difficult article. So I'm sure you would, when you read, the words would have been a little confusing. The way that it's written may be a little confusing. So you have to be careful with this passage. Okay. Alright, now let's look at the question. Which one of the following quotes best captures the main concern of the passage? Well, the main concern of the passage was that grammar is very, very important, and if you have good grammar, that makes a lot of sense. So nouns and verbs are the two indispensable parts of writing. Without one of each, no group of words can be a sentence. Well, he was not really talking of sentence formation. Please understand that. A talks about sentence formation and how nouns and verbs are important. But we are not talking of sentence formation, and therefore this is not the main idea of the passage. Strunk and White caution against too many simple sentences in a row, but simple sentences provide a path you can follow when you fear getting lost in the tangles. So this one is saying that you can have too many simple sentences. Again, passage was not really about the sentencing only. The telling clause, again, it was not talking of clauses only. Yes, the passage was about grammar and the fact that if you use bad grammar, you will create bad sentences. One with unnecessary clauses, unnecessary phrases, dangling modifiers and such like things. And that will lead you into trouble. So he said keep it simple. So D is the correct answer. Okay, I hope you got that. Yes, that is. Okay, let's go to the second question. Inferring from the passage. Now, the minute he says inferring, remember, infer, imply, suggest are all sentences or all words that tell you that this is something that you can understand. So, it is not mentioned in the passage. Okay. The author could be most supportive of which one of the following practices. So, if from reading the passage, which one of these is something that the author would be supportive of? A creative writing course that focuses on how to avoid the reuse of rhetoric. Well, does the writer say that rhetoric is not required? He does not say that. Please understand this. So, therefore, A cannot be the correct answer. The critique of standardized rules of punctuation and capitalization. Will he be doing a detailed analysis of punctuation and capitalization? Where should you capitalize? Where should you punctuate? Only those? Well, this would be incomplete. He would actually be more supportive of all the standardized rules of grammar. So this is incomplete, so let's not take B as our answer. A campaign demanding that writers' creative license should allow the breaking of grammatical rules. Well, the writer does not really say that at all, so we can't understand. The availability of language software that will standardize the rules of grammar as an aid to writers. Well, he has said that the writer here has said that if you get confused in longer sentences, in phrases, clauses, and so on, all you have to do is follow the simple sentence. You have to remember that noun and verb can be all the sentences that are required. So, of course, our writer will try to make grammar simple for everyone. And therefore, if there is a standard software that allows you to, get your rules of grammar standardized, then that's something that the writer will probably suggest. So yes, D should be the correct answer here. Let's look at the last one. All of the following sentences can be inferred from the passage except. So which one cannot be inferred? Let's take a look. So the subject predicate relation is the same as the noun verb relation. Yes, this we can infer because the passage had somewhere said that the sentence has a subject and a predicate, or a noun and a verb. So this one clearly we can infer from the passage. Okay. Grammar police is a metaphor for critics who focus on linguistic rules, on language rules, is also something that I can infer from the passage. Very good. Sentences do not always have to be complete. Do you remember at one place the writer has very beautifully said, and I will show you that can you have many clauses? Yes, take a look at this. Must you write complete sentences each and every time? Perish the thought. You don't have to write the complete sentences. So writer is not saying that you have to write complete sentences. So this also can be inferred from the passage. The purpose of grammar is to ensure that sentences remain simple. Well, this is something that we cannot infer from the passage, and therefore B should be the correct answer. Okay. All right. All right, guys. With that, we come to the end of this session where we have discussed these three beautiful questions from this passage from CAT 2021. Guys, I have an upcoming special class 10:15 every day. Practice rush hour. Do make sure you're joining in. Thank you for joining. Remember to hit like, share, subscribe, the bell icon so that you can stay connected and the notification for our next session reaches you. If you haven't yet subscribed to Unacademy, please use my referral code, that's ABHICATLive, and get a 10% off on all your Unacademy subscription. The course can be any, the code is only one, that's ABHICATLive. Thank you so much, guys. I hope you have a nice day. Adios, everybody.